Have you ever noticed how remarkably easy it is to plan a new life on a Sunday night, but how incredibly difficult it is to actually live it on a Monday morning? You sit down on Sunday night, your mind is clear, and you make a set of promises to yourself. You decide that starting tomorrow, you're going to change your trajectory. You're going to eat better food. You're going to focus deeply on your career goals without looking at your phone, handle your stress with composure, and be completely present with your family. And in that moment, you genuinely mean it. But then Monday morning hits, your alarm goes off, you reach for your phone screen, and within 90 seconds, a wave of notifications, news, and external demands floods your mind. Your heart rate increases, your breathing grows shallow, and before your feet have even touched the floor, an invisible wave of anxiety takes over. By 2 p.m., you hit a wall of exhaustion, your focus fractures into a dozen different directions, and by the time you collapse on the couch at night, you realize you spent the entire day reactively firefighting your schedule on complete default autopilot. You didn't change anything. You just repeated yesterday and your past. Most people experience this loop and immediately blame their character. They think, I just lack willpower. I lack discipline. I'm just not motivated enough. But the science of human performance shows this is a profound misdiagnosis. You do not have a discipline problem. You are trapped in an automated biological loop. The ultimate objective of human life is continuous evolution. You're either growing or decaying. The human mind never truly stays still. So if you're not actively transforming yourself to meet new challenges, you are merely repeating your past. Autopilot will always choose comfort and survival over growth. But if you do not have a rigorous daily process to handle your stress response, the law of biology dictates that your brain will always default entirely to your automatic primitive survival patterns. Today, I want to show you the exact biological mechanism behind why your brain actively resists change and hand you a simple, practical protocol you can use tomorrow morning to break the loop. Just to understand how this looks in the real world, I want to share my own personal experience. On paper, I was the definition of high performance. I was a successful entrepreneur, a dedicated single father, and a deeply ambitious individual. I spent years reading every self-help and productivity book on the planet, and I tried every generic morning routine of so-called successful people. Every Sunday, I would write out a flawless schedule and plan, but every Monday, my schedule would collapse. I would wake up, immediately check my phone in bed to catch up on emails, and feel an instant jolt of panic. I spent the rest of my day in back to back meetings, constantly context switching and answering urgent messages and putting out fires. I was aggressively busy. But at the end of the day, I felt completely stagnant. I was hitting a massive energy crash by 2 p.m., snapped at my son over the dinner table because my fuse was so short, and lay awake at night staring at the ceiling with my mind racing. I would look at myself and say, Damien, I don't get it. I have the drive, I have the ambition. Why can't I stick to the daily habits that I know will level up my life? This frustration is what led me to dig into the science and uncover exactly what I was doing wrong. What I discovered changed everything. My problem wasn't my calendar, my problem was my nervous system. I was trying to install a new intentional lifestyle while running an automated stress circuit. My biology was literally locking me out of my own growth. Here is the lesson that changed everything for me and is the exact lesson you need to understand if you want to change your life. Your brain values survival over your personal development. Your brain has one primary responsibility. It isn't happiness. It isn't fulfillment. It isn't purpose. Its first responsibility is survival. Your nervous system is constantly asking one question: am I safe? Not am I growing, not am I becoming my best self, simply am I safe? And whenever uncertainty appears, your nervous system automatically shifts into protection mode. Now think what change really is. Every meaningful change requires uncertainty. Starting a business, changing careers, having difficult conversations, learning new habits, improving your health, setting boundaries, pursuing your purpose. Every one of these takes you outside what is familiar. It takes you out of your comfort zone. And your nervous system doesn't necessarily interpret unfamiliar as an opportunity to grow. It sees it as uncertainty. And to your primitive brain, uncertainty equals danger. So the moment you face the slightest bit of uncertainty, real world stress or pressure, your threat center fires. Your body instantly releases stress chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate rises and your breathing grows shallow. When your brain thinks it is in danger, it executes a biological lockdown. It actively starves your prefrontal cortex. So, this is the front part of our brain, the thinking, learning, and self control center of your brain, of energy. It hands total control over to your primitive survival brain. In this state, you physically lose the capacity to choose a new behavior. Your attention fractures. You lose your composure and you default entirely to your oldest, most deeply ingrained patterns just to feel comfortable and safe. Every single thought, emotional reaction, and reactive behavior you have repeatedly practiced over the last 10, 20, 30 years has carved a deep neural highway in your mind. These are your default patterns. They are physically stored as deep memory right inside your nervous system and your body. And when your nervous system becomes dysregulated, it returns to these default and automatic patterns. These automatic thoughts, these automatic emotional responses, the automatic behaviors. These default and automated patterns become your default operating system. You don't consciously choose them, they simply happen. You cannot override an automated habit while using an automated stress circuit. Stress forces autopilot. These default patterns create a cloud of false messaging, making it impossible to interpret the actual realities of life clearly. And if your daily structure doesn't actively train your nervous system to return to a state of safety quickly, you'll spend your entire day, and for that matter, your entire life, repeating your past, simply because your body assumes it is under attack. So, how do we fix this? Well, we can't use positive thinking to fix a dysregulated body. Your survival brain doesn't understand English. It only understands biological data. You have to use bottom-up regulation. You need to change your physical physiology first to send a signal of safety straight back up to your brain. To break your default stress loop, you must learn to change your physical state on command. And your training ground begins tomorrow morning with a simple 3-minute practice I call the Morning Safety Calibration. So, tomorrow, when you open your eyes, I want you to commit to a strict 3-step protocol before you reach for your smartphone screen. Step 1, you want to reaffirm your identity. So, the second you wake up, look at the room, pause, and state your identity to prime your attention filters. So, this is your reticular activating system. And say to yourself, I am the conscious creator of my life, and today I choose to live deliberately. This forcefully flags to your brain that you're a conscious driver of your day, not a passive bystander reacting to notifications. In step 2, you want to flip the calm switch. To manual break your nervous system before the world can hijack it. So you'll exercise a breathing tool called the physiological sigh. So this is considered by neuroscientists to be the quickest way to self-regulate. So you'll take 2 rapid deep inhales through your nose to maximally open your lung sacs, followed by 1 long, slow, complete exhale through your mouth. And you're going to do this 3 times. So let me demonstrate. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to do a second breath in through your nose. So you're going to breathe in. So you're going to do a long, extended breath out through your mouth. So let me do this again for you. So you breathe in. You're going to do this 3 times. So one more time. This specific breathing pattern forces your vagus nerve, which is connected to your parasympathetic nervous system, to slow your heart rate down in less than 5 seconds, proving to your brain that you are in control of your state. So now to step 3. So now we're regulated. We've told our brain that we're safe, we're secure, and that we're in control. And now we're going to set your intention and target for today. So do not look at a long, chaotic to-do list. Instead, set a clear daily benchmark by stating out loud, I will win my day today by completing. And then you want to insert here your single highest priority task. So I'll repeat that. I will win my day today by completing. And then you're going to put your highest priority task. Once that target is set, you want to ask your brain an active question to force your mind to hunt for solutions throughout the day. How will I live my intention and maintain my focus today? So this puts your brain on notice that this is important and that you need to be looking for answers to this question, because our brain, when it's posed the question, has to look for solutions. So in this way, we've created focus. We've turned on our reticular activating system and told our brain this is important and we need to be focused on this for today. Now you want to take 1 slow breath, step out of bed, and step into your day. So now we've consciously and intentionally set ourselves up for today. So let me quickly repeat the steps one more time. So step 1, we're going to reaffirm identity. We're going to tell our brain that we are conscious creators and that we choose to live deliberately. So we don't default to looking at our smartphones. We're choosing to be conscious and deliberate in how we show up each day. And then we're going to regulate ourselves. We're going to use the physiological sigh. So we're going to breathe in and breathe in one more time and then breathe out through our mouth. And now we've regulated our nervous system to prove to our brain that we are in control, that we are in a safe and secure way, and that we're ready to engage with the day. And then the last step, we're going to set our intention and target for today. So you're going to say, I'm going to win this day today by, and then set your intention for the single highest priority task. And then you're going to ask yourself a question, an firm intention to actually get your brain looking for solutions to or answers to that particular question. And that question is, how will I live my intention and maintain my focus today? So now your brain is going to be actively looking for how to make this happen. So now you've set yourself up to be conscious and intentional and ready to fully engage with your day. By running this simple 3-minute sequence, you anchor your physiology in absolute safety before you even open an email or check a text. You step into the world as a responsive operator rather than a reactive target. This simple morning shift is what allowed me to reclaim my focus, protect my energy, and finally show up in life and to my son with absolute presence. But a morning routine or ritual is just the first step. To completely override your old default patterns, clear out the false messaging, and achieve true self mastery, you need a full day operating system. And I called this operating system the Legend Day. So it's a structured 24-hour blueprint. It's not about rigid, unrealistic perfection. It's about intentional architecture. It's a system that seamlessly embeds the mechanics of nervous system regulation and brain health right into your natural daily flow, ensuring you systematically break the default stress loop. To move away from autopilot and step into deliberate living, we must stop treating our calendars as a chaotic list of random tasks. Instead, we must coordinate our attention across clear chronological movements throughout the entire day, structuring our focus blocks, mapping out our midday recovery resets, and enforcing digital sunsets in the evening to secure deep restorative sleep. So we need a complete system for how we're going to show up in day. So we need a system and a plan on how we're going to engage with our day, which enables us to downregulate our nervous system when we need it. It's putting work blocks in place when it's best fit for our biology. We learn to slowly repattern ourselves because we're not defaulting to old patterns. So when you take control of your daily structure, you give your brain the biological proof it needs to lock in a new identity. So extraordinary lives are never created by accident. They're a consequence of consecutive days spent operating in absolute alignment with your highest potential. Your next 24 hours are a completely self-contained micro quest. Reclaim your daily structure, win your day, and you'll ultimately win your life. In the next couple of videos, I'll talk a little bit more about the Legend Day, the structure, and demonstrate to you how having this operating system enables you to more effectively navigate your life. So you're not going to be falling back to default patterns. You're actually creating new patterns of behavior, new emotions, and you're going to get a better handle on your thoughts. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it valuable, I'd appreciate you subscribing to our channel and then also sharing it with others who you think may benefit with it. And then until next time, live intentionally, live courageously, and I'll see you in the next video.